Hello there, my name is Rachel, I talk about animation, and today we talk about episode 8 of Digman, the season finale. Now, the last episode said they probably have a season 2 because they left it as a cliffhanger. And when I saw that, I was sort of kind of pissed off a little bit. Let's face it, every time you have a cliffhanger, it's sort of risky. You don't know you have a season 2. Even if it is confirmed, you do have a season 2. The company have probably business problems and decide to cancel in the last second. This is the thing, is so risky having a cliffhanger because you don't know you actually accomplished that. But besides that, this episode still is funny. It still sort of wrap everything up. I loved it how it sort of beginning and ending even with the cliffhanger. But I love it even more. It does sort of explain sort of the bad guy sort of backstory why he's doing it, because Ian, the man owned the sort of museum, doing everything he does to get the Holy Grail for his father. He just want his approval. Even he is sort of, let's face it, a Chad. He is that basically a Don, less Don. I don't know why I'm saying Don, but he is basically the sort of the quarterback, the perfect man, the perfect who has a perfect age, he's smart, talented, likable, charming, and never got his father sort of respect or love. And you understand maybe the reason why he wants his father back, to have that sort of respect, even that we only see half of the relationship, because the other half we just don't know. His dad was so tired, he doesn't want to talk to him. It just sort of, we don't understand what he actually wanted for him. We just wanted him his approval. And that was sort of interesting, because sometimes you don't need to see the whole photo. Sometimes you just see little glimpses, and that's all you need to maybe assume what the relationship really is. And Ian tried to get the Holy Grail by using Zane to help him to get the Grail. But I love it that he also shows Zane, he actually married the little princess or the little queen who has a really good relationship. That was sort of weird, but also it sort of makes sense because the princess, or aka the new queen, she is sort of very weird, very unhinged, alcoholic, all out there. Makes sense. They make a perfect weird couple. Besides that, that was interesting. Now, the whole story and surprises of the final episode is basically Digman realizing his wife is melting. Yeah, I love it. He sort of explains how also put his wife in this sort of ice cube, because it sort of asks a lot of questions. How did he put him in this sort of ice cabin or ice prison? And the fact it sort of explains that he had that in the plane because his last former adventure who had this other person inside to deliver to the museum, but he never really went that direction. The last minute cut her off, he put it in because this special ice coffin, it actually is a special ice they make really slow, a little convoluted, but at the end it sort of makes sense because what kind of job Digman does. But besides that, he realized it's sort of melting. He getting desperate. He decided to go into a museum to steal the Holy Grail to make sure his wife come back. If you didn't think that sort of argument, maybe this was not a good idea, but you think it would be the argument of stealing the Holy Grail. But no, the argument why the team broke up for a second is because of idioms that Dick Rickman could not say the sort of phrasing word the right way. That was kind of hilarious because it kind of reminded me of, I don't know if some of you remember Shonen Shodan, like Omi isms, that every time he says sort of a phrase, he said it backwards or doesn't really make sense. They tried to do that sort of joke to Digman, to his assistant, told him that that's not how you're supposed to say it, and she got pissed off and walked away because Digman doesn't like to be correct. And that's sort of like a running gag, like, yeah, they just decided to come back. You know what? I'm sorry. We trying to correct you. That's sort of weird, but instead very funny. And I sort of realized the argument was sort of stupid, but at the end, it just works because how reverse comedy really is, or what's called reverse expectation, and that's sort of good. This show does so well. The sort of reverse expectation comedy just so well handled to the very end, even though they ended up as a cliffhanger. But besides that, they plan to go inside the museum to steal the Holy Grail. All between all this time, Saltine quits and joins the other team because as a realization she needs to eat, so she has to find a job. The only person who will hire him is the museum rival of Digman. So it sort of makes sense how she sort of got the job, the reason why she got the job just to piss off Dickman. And you realize Sunteen actually is a really good assistant doing her job pretty well. But a little bit this sort of shows you what the Holy Grail really does. Plus with Santine that she heard something with this sort of weird Holy Grail that you realize it's not technically the Holy Grail. It's a reason why the magical Cloud Kingdom didn't want this Grail in the kingdom anymore because it sort of was very questionable. And Santine sort of kind of wondering, keep hearing voices till she decided to get close to this Holy Grail and realize, oh no, this thing give me bad visions. And she sort of kind of curious, interrogate the princess or aka the queen if she's still the queen because the whole politics is she's not the queen is sort of rear random. But besides that, she sort of asks questions with the queen, and the queen is sort of trying to answer but not really because she doesn't really talk about the Holy Grail because it's just sort of kind of forbidden in a way because it's just too messy. So she sort of found another person to actually give it the right information what this Holy Grail really is. And you find out that it's sort of a antichrist Holy Grail that you can just flip the cup bottom, you see the tape to Antichrist. But I love it they use it as a joke because no one tried to just flip the Grail to see is the Antichrist. That's kind of hilarious and funny. It's sort of random, but it works because all this time they were sort of setting up to bring the devil back using sort of dead bodies for a substitute to walk in the earth. But I love it they sort of kind of make sort of common sense. It's a reason why the Holy Grail left the Cloud Kingdom. They were trying to explain something is wrong. But I love it. They sort of have other jokes with Scooper that he is afraid of using popo sticks. You think it's sort of a running gag. In a way, it sort of was important, but not really. It sort of helped the story to kind of continue, like while feeling sort of forced words. But I kind of love that sort of Scooper tell his story about his popo stick sort of problem that he's afraid to use them because his grandfather died using it because he's so jealous of him. It was sort of weird and funny to see his grandfather trying the popo stick and die with a plane. If you've not seen the episode, believe me, you just watch that scene with a popo stick reason. It's completely hilarious, but at the same time, it's because of Scooper kind of helped the Antichrist to come back because he doesn't realize that there was Digman was stopped by Saltine to convince him to not give him the Holy Grail to his wife because it was sort of a trap. But at the same time, Saltine was a little too late. But at the same time, I really enjoyed that sort of oopsie kind of moment. It was super enjoyable. Yeah, I love Ian that he gets sort of how you wanted to get because he sort of misses his daddy. He wants that approval. And in fact, I just realized all this show, at least all the characters have parent issues, uncle issues, mommy and daddy. You have a lot of issues that everybody wants to make them to actually do something very questionable. But I love that they did. One is very interesting is that Digman saw his wife's scar on her ear, realizing the wise wisdom what she said to him that if someone trying to stop you or trying to push your buttons, especially they trying to make you understand something probably could be wrong because they want to protect you. And this is the reason why I enjoyed this show so much. It sort of kind of help you reverse a lot of things unexpected because they know this whole show is one big ass sort of cliche of Indiana Jones. And I love it they sort of really lean on that, but at the same time doesn't rely on that much when they decide to do some cliche with sort of the most natural sort of common sense, but also make fun of it to make it work. And that's one of the best moments. Like every time the hero trying to save their loved one, they do it because of their love, and decide to reverse that sort of wisdom over the years with your own couple, your own family members or loved ones give you sort of interesting sort of insight that you just sort of remember at the last second. It's a cliche, but done right in the right moment, it works so well. Yeah, I love that he sort of realized, yeah, my wife probably doesn't want me to bring her back like this. So you know what? No, till Scooper wasn't there, he did it for him. But again, it was sort of interesting how they took that. It also was sort of interesting was sort of the Antichrist and the Uncle Antichrist came back. Yeah, I love that sort of weird twist that just usually it's just the Antichrist coming back. There was the Uncle Antichrist that was sort of strange. I wonder what they're gonna use on season two. If we get a season two, post we got season two, we have to wait. Maybe they order 16 episodes total. They split it in half. We just don't know. But besides that, I hope they continue on because in the cliffhanger, Digman sort of says, like, wait for a second, and he continues, so setting up on the beginning of episode 1 on season 2, so make it sort of flow perfectly. I hope they continue that sort of running joke on the next episode. But besides that, I did enjoy a lot of little things here that I did enjoy the sort of plot B with Satine going to the arena of discoverers, the sort of arena that beg questionable things in a sort of chain sort of thing. It's sort of weird. Something you have to sort of interpret because they never show why he has a sort of kind of like a caveman's ring, only with a nozzle inside selling stuff. It's sort of weird, but something I think you just use your imagination when they're trying to do. But besides that, it was enjoyable. See Santine doing her own thing and trying to save his ex-boss, trying to redeem their relationship. That was sort of fun and interesting. The only complaint, well, two complaints. One, the ending doesn't have a conclusion because they have super confident it has a season 2. And the second thing is Santi's friend, that I don't remember her name right now, that she's sort of the cool girl. That's the best way to describe it because she doesn't really have anything distinctly unique about that character. You just know she's the only one who actually cares about Santine. He's just her friend, but you never have that sort of good joke of her or something like that. That I don't know what they made her for. Hopefully it fixes on season 2. We just don't know. But besides that, I had a great time watching this series. I mean, I can't say much about it because it was so fun and charming. I mean, sometimes it wasn't that amazing like episode 4 because episode 4 was still funny. It just wasn't clear enough of the storyline. That's probably the only complaint I have of the whole series. Just one of the side characters wasn't interesting enough in episode 4. Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, this show is, I like to say, a perfect 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 because it just constantly throwing jokes but doesn't try to really hard. It's just sort of perfect pacing, perfect running, understood what it was, and never tried to do more. It doesn't do shocking humor just because, and just understand it so well. This is what an adult cartoon should be. That's sort of charming. They do sort of sex jokes or blood, just a little, not over exaggeration, just enough to understand this is an adult show. It's funny. We're in, we're out, and that's it. That's the reason why I really enjoyed this show. Now I got nothing else to say. Just one question: how you feel this finale? You like how everything ends? You hope we do get season 2? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.